Today, today I'm going to tell you a story. But before I tell you a story, I got to tell you some definitions. So these are Jennifer's definitions. I am going to give you the official definitions down in the description box. So I do want you to like, share, and subscribe to the video. So I'm Jennifer. I work under Jennifer from Chicago. If I was to give this channel a name, it would be Life is an English Lesson. So, before I tell you the story, it's going to be about cultural differences and some food. And it's going to be about these two ladies that I talked to yesterday. We're going to call them Lisa and Maria. Lisa's from a country in Asia, and Maria's from a country in South America. And so we had a discussion about cultural differences in food. So the definitions, the words they're going to use is bated breath, is which is when you're waiting for somebody to tell you something. So waiting with bated breath. We're also going to talk, the other word is clam up, which is when it can be when someone wants to say something, but they get nervous, so they might stop talking. That's clam up. Another word is spit it out phrase. Spit it out, like, come on, Lisa, spit it out. We're waiting with bated breath. Spit it out. The other one is spill the beans. Spill the beans could be either it can be either we're waiting for you to say something, spill the beans, or it could be if someone says something that maybe they shouldn't have said. That could be spilling the beans too, like saying something that you had no business saying. And on the edge of my seat, that is used to say, um, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for you to say something, like, tell us. We're on the edge of our seat. Tell us. And then another one is picky eater. And that is used here in the United States. People use picky eater usually with children. For example, you can have a 2-year-old that only wants to eat macaroni and cheese, or only wants to eat pizza, or they never want to try anything else, or something like that. Picky eater. I have a tendency to be a picky eater, but I'm not a child. I'm a picky eater. And then tolerance. Tolerance is in the way that I'm going to use it. It's being tolerant is accepting things that maybe are different from your culture. So tolerance, and then white lie is going to be used when sometimes people don't want to accept what you have to say. So sometimes you got to lie to them because they being pushy. They're not accepting what you have to say. Okay, so the story goes like this. So we were talking about food differences and things like that. So Lisa from Asia, she was saying how she's a vegetarian, and she's been a vegetarian since she was 10 years old. And so I was asking her, what, made her decide to be a vegetarian at such a young age. So she was saying, she was telling a story, and she started to clam up. And I was like, girl, just tell us. No judgment. We're not going to judge you. We're not going to, this is a group. It was a group discussion, myself, Maria, and Lisa. And I'm like, this is a judgment free zone. You can feel comfortable to say whatever you want to say. Nobody's going to judge you here. Girl, just relax. Say what you want to say. And she started to clam up. And I was like, girl, just be comfortable and say what you want to say. So she was saying that when she was young, like 30 years ago, she was walking home from school, her and a girlfriend, and that they were walking past someone's home, and they were outside getting ready to prepare to cook some meat. And she said that, and this is why she was climbing up, because the animal that they were getting ready to prepare was not a normal animal that, typically people are accepting of this animal being cooked. And she said that it was so disturbing to her that she was like, I am never ever going to eat animals again. And I wasn't surprised, because since I started teaching English and I have students from all over the world, I have heard all kinds of things about different types of animals that have been cooked or are cooked to eat. So I was not surprised. Maria, however, was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So before Lisa opened her mouth and was honest with us about the animal that was being prepared, Maria and I were like on the edge of our seats, waiting with bated breath for Lisa to spit it out. I was like, Lisa, girl, spit it out. Tell us what kind of animal it is. So she told us, and oh my God, Maria, I thought she was going to die on the spot. And I was like, I completely understand why you are a vegetarian, girl. I understand because I have heard, all manners of what is going on in terms of, different cultures eating different things. I mean, even growing up here in the United States, um, being a black woman, my parents are from the South. They eat all kinds of things: pig's feet, pig's ear, chitterlings. These things I will put into the group, just in the description box, things that they eat, which I think helped me be a picky eater. But the animal that Lisa was talking about absolutely is not normal here in the United States to be prepared to eat. And so for Lisa, it was disturbing, and that is why she was like, I could not eat animals after that. And I was like, I completely understand. And Maria was like, oh my God, that is strange. And I was like, yes, girl, it's different. I said, however, we are tolerant and we do not judge in this group. And Lisa was like, she couldn't believe it. And she was very glad that we were not judging. And I was like, girl, I said, this is in what Jennifer does, we don't judge. And so it was very interesting. And I was explaining to her, in some of the places where I was living when I lived outside the country, I was introduced to a type of meat called cuy asada. I put it in the chat. You can Google it. You can Google the picture. And I explained to her that at the time that I was told about this, I was like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. And the people I was with was like, oh, here, taste. You should try it. It's delicious. And I was like, no, thank you. And they were being a little pushy about it. Oh, you should try it. And I was like, no thank you. And I had to tell what's called a white lie, which is when you basically have to lie to a person to tell them something. You shouldn't have to lie. I'm a grown woman. I shouldn't have to lie. But I was like, I'm a vegetarian, which I am not. I do eat meat, but I wasn't going to eat that meat. Again, I'll put the spelling into the description and you can Google the image. Cuy asada is a pet in the United States, but it is a meat in certain parts of South Central Latin America. It's expensive, and if they like you, they want to serve it to you as a dish. And Jennifer was like, no, thank you. But I mean, different cultures have different meals, different foods, and I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, you go different places, different than your own land, and you will experience different things. But yes, yeah, it was very interesting conversation, and I that's one of the things I love about teaching, because I get to learn all different kinds of things. And life is an English lesson. You get to, if you are open to it, you will experience different kinds of things. You will learn all kinds of things. But it was such an interesting conversation. Lisa was very much um, on the edge of not telling us what she wanted to tell us, and she had Maria and I like, tell us, girl, tell us, we really want to know, tell us, we are dying to know, tell us. But it was a very interesting conversation. But yes, all of those words were part of what we were experiencing. Lisa, what she experienced as a child caused her to be a picky eater for a very long time. But yes, she will not eat meat after what she went through, after what she saw and experienced. And it wasn't even in her home. These people, what they were preparing, it's what she saw as she was walking home from school with her friend. So yes, all of these words I will put into the description box. So yes, that was my story about cultural differences in food. If you are a traveler, you will absolutely probably be exposed to things that are different than what is eaten and consumed in your homeland. So just always be tolerant and respectful of different cultures. And if you ever go somewhere and they're preparing something and it is not your cup of tea, meaning it is not something that you are interested in trying, and the no thank you is not working, then you may have to tell a white lie and say you're a vegetarian or something in order to get out of having to eat it. You shouldn't have to tell a white lie, but sometimes people are not accepting of the no thank you. So sometimes you have to tell a white lie. But that is my story for today. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you enjoyed my story. And again, all the definitions of the words will be down in the description box. Have a wonderful day.